Well, hey everybody, I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to the Monday edition of Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune. I hope that you had a good week last week. I hope you were able to catch Esoteric Influences yesterday. If not, you can either get it here on YouTube or it's over on the side panel, which takes you to YouTube of the blog anyway. You can grab it wherever you want to, but it's up, and also the hard copy is also up on the blog and posted around. Patreon users, Patreon members, they get both the video and the Esoteric Influences all together in one shot. So they get that all over there. So if you want to join me over there, that costs $1 a month is all. We have Laguz here as the rune for today. Let's see. Let's do our geomancy rune and see what the other runic influence is. Now, Wednesday, in case you don't know already, we have a full moon. Okay, that's at 4:14 Pacific Daylight Time, so 7:14 a.m. Eastern Time. Is that 3 hours difference? Yes, so 4:14 is the full moon a.m. And then just before that at 4:13 is a full lunar eclipse. So I'm going to be outside. I'm going to get up because I'm going to do some things. And I just think it'd be really cool, if you can get out there and take a look at that and see how it feels to be out especially in the early morning hours when it's happening. That's just the coolest time anyway, because everything is new and fresh and things are starting to come alive, and then you get a lunar eclipse, which is all that energy for the lunar month in one moment, right? For the length of time of that eclipse. So anyway, I just say maybe be up by 3:30, get your stuff ready. If you're going to go do a ritual or work some magic or something during the eclipse, that's really cool to do. So anyhow, just reminding you of that. Other than that, I don't think that there's anything else I need to tell you about. Anyway, I planted my sunflowers yesterday. That was kind of cool. Wait, I didn't tell you the geomancy room. So we have, this is going to be acquisitio, which is gain. So we're going to flow in spirit with Laguz, and then we're going to, and when we do that, then we have gain, all right? Things will get better for us, in other words. Something will increase, It's when we flow in ego that things get dicey. So whenever Laguz whenever I pull Laguz as the rune, it just seems to me that it just indicates this purified flow of energy that is a higher self level. Anything to do with the Elder Futhark is higher self. It's all soul level stuff. So it's just reminding us basically that even though we look like these bodies and, we get into all kinds of struggles and, deal with all kinds of stuff, at the heart of it, we're souls. And that's what is the driving force of the body. If you didn't have the soul to infuse, there would be no reason to have the body. So basically, the function of the body is truly dependent upon the soul. It's just we forget that, and we ignore that higher self influence. That feeling of do the right thing here. Don't think about yourself. Just do what's right. That's higher self. When that's nagging you, and you're not wanting to do it. That's that dichotomy, that paradigm, that struggle between the ego and higher self. And so, or you could think of it as ego and the soul, or ego and spirit. I mean, however you want to think about it, it doesn't really matter. It's just you have that sense of sanctified energy, that should be guiding everything you do, all of your perceptions. And yet, it's the struggle that we have to transmute ego into spirit all the time, to keep that, to keep the better angels of our nature at work instead of the other way around, So today we're going to flow in spirit. And if we do so, we could experience some gain of some kind. So we'll call it that. So let's go ahead and take our cards. Okay, so let me put them over here. Well, overall numerology, we have five, and let's see, we have the Page of Cups, the Hierophant, which is the fifth card, card five of the major arcana, and then we have the Eight of Swords. So eight and five is 13. So four, so far anyway. If we might need a fourth card, I don't know. We'll see though. But right now we've got a four energy that's driving this whole thing. And so structure, foundation, material stuff. So maybe material concerns are in play today. And so maybe the acquisitio or gain has something to do with that as well. But again, letting things flow, living in non-resistance. Sometimes things have a way of working out. If it's when we get in the middle of something or we feel resistance towards something, that maybe it stops that energetic flow to something better happening. So, it's the whole idea of, dropping resistance and letting things just be. But we have the Page of Cups, so we'll start there. Here we have a youthful individual who's passionate and compassionate. He's holding a golden chalice here with a fish sticking out saying hi. You see the water behind him. Cups is about the water element and our emotions, our compassion, our empathy. It's also about change and momentum, harmony. Now, pages are youthful individuals. They could be considered as students. They can be considered as messengers of news, for example. But this is signifying that what's really happening is that we're going to be experiencing something new on that front. Something might be coming into play that is maybe a new level of self-confidence, maybe a new level of happiness, maybe new imagination, some new ideas. Not so much ideas. Ideas are going to be either, well, it's going to be swords, or it also could be fire, the creative aspect of it. So swords would be air. But here you're really talking about offering compassion to others. You see that in behind here, you've got the water behind him is not smooth, and so things aren't calm. And so maybe something has gone on and he's stepped out of the sea here. You see the line of demarcation, and he's offering a chalice of compassion. You can think the fish can relate to Pisces. And Piscean people are very, very compassionate people. They have a lot of empathy, very sensitive, very intuitive. They just have this inner knowing about them. And so when I see the Page of Cups, it's like, oh, okay, I need to stop and I need to receive some compassion from somebody, or I'm receiving some news maybe that's something positive coming our way. It can also, depending on what it's paired with, it could signal the birth of a child with the Page of Cups. But basically, it's telling us to seek a more compassionate role with others maybe here today. And again, when we see the Hierophant, we think divine mercy. So I think in other words, I think that it's reinforcing what the message of the Page of Cups. Now, the 5, again, is going to indicate change. Again, that's water element. So something is different. There's going to be, whereas maybe before you did not feel yourself any mercy extended to you, any love or compassion, that everything was harsh, and now all of a sudden with this, maybe today something's going to break, or over the next couple of days something's going to break free, and you're not going to feel that the world is as harsh maybe as it's been for you. Maybe something is going to happen for you that brings some understanding to the situation you're in, and so maybe some resolution can be found. But here with the Hierophant, this is divine mastery. You see the keys of Solomon down below. You see the 2 monks down below him. They're wearing the same kind of raiment here as he is. His has 3 crosses on it. Now, in fairness, you can't see what this long piece looks like on them, so theirs could have it as well. You see, so that's triplicity. Here you see triplicity of the Pope's crown, coupled with the Pillars of Solomon, which we see this is a familiar theme in tarot, where you've got something in the center of something. It indicates the middle way. It indicates moderation. It indicates balance. It indicates a choice. Oftentimes you'll see a path that goes through or is somewhere in adjacent to it or something. Sometimes it'll come down through a mountain peak that's split, so there's your two. Sometimes you'll see two towers. Sometimes you'll see two mountainsides or two trees. But there'll be this sense of going through the middle or something to that effect. So basically with the Hierophant, though, you're talking a divine level of that. So hidden knowledge. You could also be thinking about a mentor. So maybe if you want to think about it that way, and you're thinking about maybe the world has been harsh and now I'm being offered some compassion, you know, maybe a mentor is going to come in and help you with whatever's going on in your life. Because I think we probably should have started with the Eight of Wands, realistically. So that way you could then say, you know what, there's a lot of stuff coming in on you. All right, a lot of stuff is happening. And you could put the Hierophant next, you know, or the Hierophant could define what it is that the page is offering. Let's do it that way. So let's start here. We'll begin again. Here we have the Eight. Now the Eight is about leadership. It's about materialism. It's about wanting recognition for the successes that you have and the skill set that you have. But it's a different level of harmony, especially if you're thinking in terms of leadership, because there you're seeing the greater picture and you're bringing things into a level of harmony based on that, based upon your own ability to do that versus vis-a-vis the lack of ability of those in your charge, right? That's why you're the leader. And so you're there to help organize things for everybody. But here we have a lot of swiftness going on. A lot is coming at you, a lot of swift fire energy. Now, this could be that you're having to defend something, and maybe you do. Maybe you're feeling like things are not going well in your life. Maybe with the pandemic, you're not working as much, or maybe you're not working at all. Maybe you live in one of these states that they're going to remove the additional unemployment benefits for you, and maybe you're wondering what it is that you're going to do. And basically that you could have, it's that kind of energy of things coming at you, dealing with a lot of stuff. Let's see if there's anything I missed. Attack, protection, but it's swift directional movement. So that's why it always feels when I see this that there's a lot of stuff coming in on me today. That's what it is. A lot of stuff to deal with. A lot of things I need to pay attention to. And if it's coming from outside sources, it could be a lot of things I have to deal with that are not of my own making. And so maybe you have somebody come along and say, well, here's some ideas for you. What can I do to help? Right? And in turn, that individual ends up mentoring you in a way that opens doors for you, that makes you understand the either or nature of what you're dealing with, that gives you the bigger picture, the divine mastery of all of it. Now, conversely, you could notice that someone is having a real problem. Okay, you could stand back, given that we have an 8 energy, or rather a 4 energy here for the day. We're talking about structural kinds of things and material kinds of things, physicality, foundational. And so maybe you're the leader in this with this 8 card, and you see all of this stuff coming in on somebody. So you offer compassion to them, and you become their mentor. So see, this can go either way. Let's take a 4th card. So whether this is you experiencing a lot going on today, and don't be afraid to reach out to other people and accept what they have to offer if that's what's going on for you today. They could end up being a really valuable mentor in your life, like the Hierophant is. Having that divine mastery, having the benefit of knowledge, tradition, and structure to help you through whatever difficulties you're experiencing right now, you know. But then conversely, you might be that person for someone else. So the leadership you show may be the way forward that this person either just doesn't know is there, or is too upset to know is there, right? Because, you know, when you're super upset, you can't see anything. You know, you can't, I mean, you could have the solution right in front of you, but you're so emotional that you just can't see it. Now, obviously, with the Emperor, we have some authority issues with authority here. So either you're going to become the authority in your own life, you know, maybe you need a little more pragmatic approach, or this is the guy that's causing you so much consternation. But realistically, you know, if you're talking divine mastery with the 5, it's not such a stretch to think that that's what you need to be manifesting in terms of your authority with others. Divine mastery within that. So if you're somebody who, now this tells me then that instead of this being happening to you, it looks like you're going to have the opportunity to assist someone else today. But again, if not, if it is the other way around, then the Emperor could just simply be talking about whatever the solution is in terms of practicality or pragmatism, stability, discipline, focusing on reason. Maybe, you know, things are just so out of control for you, you can't really even focus on anything that's based on reason. So you, in other words, you can't see the forest for the trees. Again, it's like the example of you're just too emotional to be able to see the bigger picture of or what's standing right in front of you. You just can't see it. And so basically, probably what the Hierophant is telling us is that we have to be our own authority. And we have to do it from a pragmatic standpoint. You know, put these in order. In other words, don't let it all be coming at you all at once. You know, in other words, don't think of it that way. Don't see it that way. Take one, then the next, then the next, then the next. Handle one thing at a time. Or, I mean, if you can do more, that's fine. If they're related to one another, that's fine. But you get the idea. Here, this is a feeling of being overwhelmed. And so at the end, when you're the Emperor, you're taking command of the situation. You're taking command of being overwhelmed. You're removing whatever, including your own perceptions, and letting that go. That's going to stop you then from if you don't, that's going to prevent you from being able to handle this. All right? So a lot coming in on you. You don't know what to do. So you need the offer of compassion and the offer of help from someone else. A new message that might tell you something you need to know, that might inform whatever's going on here. A divine sense of mastery is needed. A higher self approach is needed. Getting out of the ego is needed. And here, this might be a reflection of too much ego. And not being able to structure things properly in a way that makes sense. So in comes the Emperor, and we're able to then create a more disciplined approach, all right? Maybe this is just reflecting a lack of discipline you've been experiencing. So then in terms of the runes then, if we flow in spirit, which we will kind of put that in the middle between the Page of Cups and the Hierophant, then we have gain, don't we? And we'll put that above the Emperor. Because once we can in other words, once we get control of stuff, then all of this is going to go away. Whether it's just stuff, whether it's feeling overwhelmed or just too much stuff happening, whatever it is, right? This is a lack of mastery. It's a lack of control. It's a lack of organization. It's a lack of discipline, all right? So maybe that's all that's needed. And once you get through that, then you can then feel the acquisitio or gain. You gain something. Well, you're no longer losing your mind. You know, it's like, oh my God, you know, everything is coming in on me all at once. Yeah. Well, who needs that, right? I don't know. I don't. I'm sure you don't either. So anyway. But yeah, I just think that we'll start the week off with trying to get a handle on things. And if somebody comes in, if that's the directionality of this, if someone offers you some help, you know, you might want to think about it. You might want to take it and listen to the counsel that they have. They may be telling you things that you've never thought of before, or can get you to focus maybe a little better. You know, 4 is also about focus, you know, and then of course, you know, that was the 4 energy of the reading before we took the last card. And of course, the last card is a 4 energy. So it just reinforces that. If you add them together, now we have an 8, which is from here. All right. In other words, if 8 is if 8 is a number of leadership, then be the leader in your life and don't let this happen. Learn to manage this. And again, asking for help. Leaders don't necessarily know everything they need to know, but they know who to call, right? They know who to reach out to. They know how. In other words, a good leader is someone who knows how to problem solve. It's not necessarily somebody that has all the answers, but it's someone who knows how to problem solve and get there. All right. So whether you're that person for someone today, or you need to let someone like that into your life to help you, do so. Okay. So anyway. We'll chat again on Thursday and see if this has resolved and we move into something new, or if this gets maybe even a little bit more specific about what this is about. So anyhow, I suspect though that we're probably going to turn a corner there on Thursday. That's what I think. Or maybe it'll show that a lot of this stuff is resolved. Maybe it'll be a really calm reading and you've done what you need to do. And well, I guess in that sense it did resolve, didn't it? So anyhow, I'll write this down in the notebook, and so that we can refer to it on Thursday. And again, everywhere I am is below the video. All the links are there. So check that stuff out. Click the show more, and you'll see all kinds of stuff there. So check that out. And I guess that's it. Newsletter went out Saturday night. I think that's what I'm going to try and target, so that so everybody has it if they want to follow along. When I do the esoteric and magical influences on the video, if they want to follow along, that way they have it. They're not waiting for me to send it to them. So anyway, if you want to sign up for that, that's over on the side panel of the blog up toward the top. Just put your email in there, and it just goes to my email software. And when I'm done doing it every week, I hit send, and you get the esoteric and magical influences in your inbox. You get some other stuff too. You get a calendar and just some other stuff. I was excerpting out of a book I wrote called When Vampires Attack, and I did the last excerpt this time, and so I'm not sure what I'm going to put in next time. Maybe I'll do something herbal. Who knows. Anyway, if you want to sign up for it, it's there. You can do that there over on the blog, and come back on Thursday. And if you haven't clicked subscribe here, I'd love you to do that, and join our little tarot and rune, or esoteric and magic, whatever you want to call it, family. And, spend this time with us. So thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you again on Thursday. Be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.